In the beginning, it was an orb, but it was more than an orb. It could replicate any form, and if thrown into boiling water, it would divide into little dango balls. It could even turn into udon. The orb makes all food so delicious. All you'll say is arigato, arigato.
何これすんごくうまいねえ見てあの食べ方ありがとうありがとう
Hey guys, today we'll be making Mitarashi Dango and Udon Soup from To Your Eternity. We'll start by making the dango. To begin with, add 300 grams of silken tofu to a bowl. Mix it until it's fine and crumbled. Once that's done, we'll add 200 grams of mochiko to the tofu. I added a third at first, then I mixed it up. Added another third, and mixed it up even more. Finally, I added the last bit, and then I mixed it, and once it could hold itself together, I laid it onto my cutting board and folded it onto itself several times until we got a nice thick ball. After letting it rest for 30 minutes, I put it onto some parchment paper and cut it into 4 pieces. I then realized I don't need the parchment paper since it's not as sticky as I thought. I took one of the pieces and made it into a long sausage. Then, with a knife, cut them into about 1-inch pieces. After that, try to form balls with all of the pieces. Next, get a pan and fill it with water. Bring the water to a boil. Once it's boiling, lay in the dango balls. After about 5 minutes, the dango should rise to the top. That's when they are done, so then scoop them out of the water. Now, get some bamboo skewers. Make sure to wet the skewers, because otherwise they will stick to the dango balls. Put 4 dango balls on each skewer. This way it will look just like in the anime. Now, get a non-stick pan on a medium heat. Lay down the dango into the pan until you form a nice crust on both sides. Once you have a crust on all dangos, get them out. Pour 4 tablespoons of soy sauce, followed by 4 tablespoons of sugar. Mix it up. Add 200 milliliters of water to the mix. Once it's all nicely mixed, add 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, which you have dissolved in some water. Now, mix everything up and let it cook for about 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, the sauce should be thick and syrupy. Get the dangos and let them become fully covered in the sauce. I used a spoon to help with getting the sauce everywhere. Now that the Mitarashi dango are done, let's move on to the udon. First, we'll start by making a dashi stock. Usually, bonito flakes are used in the dashi stock, but this time I'll be using dried sardines. If you want a recipe with bonito flakes, go check out my oden video in the description. For the dried sardines, we'll have to separate the head from the body, because the head brings a bitter flavor. I did this for about 50 grams of dried sardines. Took me a lot of work. Next, get a pan filled with 2 liters of simmering water and put in the dried sardines. I let mine simmer for about 20 minutes. After that, I strained the stock. I tried to double strain it with a mesh sieve, but all I had was this mini sieve, which did work okay I guess. Add 15 grams of dried kombu and simmer it for 15 minutes. Make sure it stays around 80 degrees Celsius, otherwise the kombu will make the stock slimy. After the 15 minutes, get the kombu out. With that, the dashi stock is done. To the dashi stock, we'll add 4 tablespoons of soy sauce along with 1 tablespoon of mirin. No need for salt, since the soy sauce and dashi are quite salty already. With that, the stock for our udon soup is done. Now, we'll prepare the toppings along with the udon noodles. First, we'll cut some peeled potatoes into 1-inch thick slices. After that, we'll slice up some green onions to use as a garnish later on. Next, get a pan filled with boiling water and put in the udon noodles. I got mine at a local Asian store. They shouldn't be hard to find. Cook according to package instructions. Mine took about 4 minutes. After that, strain the noodles and set them aside. Next, we'll add the potatoes to some boiling water that we have salted. I used different water from the noodles. I cooked the potatoes until they were tender, which took about 10 minutes. After that, get the potatoes out and set them aside. With that, we have everything we need and we can start plating the dish. To start off, I laid down 2 pieces of the Mitarashi Dango onto the sleeve plate, which looks just like the one in the anime. After that, I put the udon noodles into the bowl. Follow this up by pouring the stock onto the noodles. Finally, add the potatoes and then the spring onions. With that, the Mitarashi Dango and Udon Soup from Fumetsu no Anata or To Your Eternity is done. Now, it's time to taste. I first tried the Mitarashi Dango. They came out amazing, even better than the ones in the Oden video. I love the chewy texture and I can't wait to try them with different sauces and flavors. The stock also tasted great. It had this deep dashi flavor complemented by the soy sauce. Combine this with the udon noodles and potatoes and you got yourself an amazing dish. I definitely recommend you guys to try this dish out. It wasn't hard and it tasted amazing. Anyways, that was it for the video. Have a nice day and don't forget to like and subscribe.